Hey, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I'm How Abstract, and in this video, we're going to be using lines and shapes to draw this image of a fairy cottage. And although you don't have to follow the videos in any particular order, I do encourage you to check out the other free resources I've posted, the What is a Line resource and the What is a Shape resource, geometric and organic, because it would just help you understand and be successful at this worksheet. The first step of this worksheet that you see in this video is me taking my black micron pen. You need something that's going to be dark so that you can see it on top of a colored image. Once you have those main geometric shapes outlined, and you don't have to do all the geometric shapes that you see, although if that helps you, you can do that. You're going to use a pencil and redraw those same geometric shapes in the space provided or on a separate paper. When you're doing this step, you want to use very light pressure. As you can see, you can barely see my lines at this stage because I'm using very light pressure. But eventually, you will start to see my lines because my pressure will get heavier as I start to lock in my permanent details. So right now, I'm just placing all of my geometric shapes. I'm using light pressure because I don't want these lines to remain. If you watched my What is a Line video, this is my skeleton. So I don't want my skeleton to show at the end. Some artists do allow their skeleton to show, and that's up to the artist's decision, up to the artist's discretion. Right. For the sake of this video, we don't want it to show. So we're using light pressure so that we can erase these lines once we start to lock in our permanent details and our permanent shapes, which you're going to see me start to do right now as my pressure is getting heavier and I'm manipulating those basic shapes that I first put on my paper. So at first this was a triangle, but now I'm going in and I'm manipulating that triangle to make it look how the detail looks in the photo. The reason why we place that skeleton is because when we first begin to draw, our paper is blank. It has no information. So there's nothing to manipulate, there's nothing to change. So we need to add some information on our paper first before we can manipulate and revise and edit anything. So once we have that skeleton, we can now go back and use more curved lines and more organic shapes and start incorporating those so that we can begin to transform our image into what we want it to look like. And that's what you see me doing during this portion of the video. I'm manipulating the main geometric shapes I first drew so that they can look the way it appears in the photo in the reference photo above. At this stage, you can continue to add more and more details with your pencil, but my choice would be to add those tiny, tiny details such as the small stones on the ground. I would add those details when I choose what medium I'm going to use to add color. So if it's going to be paint, if it's going to be colored pencil, if it's going to be markers, that's when I will add those fine small details. In this clip, I'm showing the same process, but I'm drawing something different. The first step is to again find the main geometric shapes and use light pressure to draw them on your paper. Once you have those main geometric shapes on your paper, you're going to begin to manipulate them and alter them so that they can begin to appear the way they look in the photo. And while you're doing this, you're constantly looking at your reference photo and looking at what you're drawing, and you're matching them. You're making sure they match as close as possible. And of course, this is for a realistic style of drawing. If you're doing more stylized drawing, or if you're doing more abstract drawings, then it's going to be a little bit different. But for the sake of this video, we're doing a realistic approach. So you're going to constantly look at your reference photo as you're placing your details on your paper. Once you have all of your details on your paper and they're locked in permanently, you can select your medium, whether that's going to be color pencil, marker, paint, all pastels, so that you can apply your color to your image. This resource can be found at www.howabstract.edu.com. I love art and happy drawing. See you next time.